Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Here for the Crack with me, Emma Neal. I'm joined by a very special guest today. We've got Aoife Rooney on the phone.
No, I'm so embarrassed. I feel like I'm actually going red.
No, I feel like I'm going
Why
red.
do I feel like I just got a wave of fucking redness there for no reason?
It's the wine.
It is. Oh my god, we didn't think about that.
The wine flush.
I actually get proper rosy whenever I drink.
Yeah, especially red wine.
Yeah, that's sleepy. That's oh, you wouldn't want to see me doing this podcast on red wine.
No, I think that I was out on the morns today and I've got burn on the back of my neck because I just didn't think about putting sun cream on my neck because my hair always covers it, but then obviously I tied my hair up in a bun because I was sweating, and now you want to see my neck. If anyone is watching right now, I don't know if you can see that. It's ridiculous.
Is it hot?
It's really hot to touch, yeah. I'll be slapping the moisturiser on. But how are you? The last time you were on this podcast was honestly about 2 years ago, and we were in very different stages of our life.
What was the last one about?
It was before we went to Greece.
Oh yeah. Me and Emma both weirdly went through the same stages of life at the same time.
Yeah.
And we were both, how would you describe that era of us?
Feral?
Feral. It was a feral time.
No, and that was, you had, okay, so at that point of recording, you had just met your now boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you were a little bit hesitant to say certain things.
Yeah.
Because you weren't locked
it was
in. But you
couple
were,
dates.
Yeah. But you also were a bit wary of saying things that he could hear type of thing. We did tell some funny stories on that episode. And actually that episode is one of my highest listened to ones to date.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
People love to hear the girls spill the tea.
I do think that dynamic though, all the podcasts I listen to when it's friends.
Yeah.
It just feels like you're on FaceTime to them.
I know. And well, yeah, but the two of us is just spend the whole time laughing. We barely probably said a word.
That's probably going to be this one as well.
Anyway, this podcast episode is very kindly sponsored by Natracare. We've got a little Natracare display going on behind us if you couldn't already see. Natracare have been leading the way in the organic period product industry. They've been breaking period taboos and advocating for menstrual equity for over 35 years. I made the switch to Natracare over a year now. I've been a big lover of their products for so long. Once you learn about the difference between organic and biodegradable period products versus non-organic ones and the amount of stuff and the amount of shit that goes into the non-organic ones and the big companies that honestly just do not care about women's bodies. And a whole study came out recently. I don't know if you saw this.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, where one of the top tampon brands was found to have lead and some other really toxic chemicals found in their tampons. So it really is worth doing the research and making the switch to a brand like Natracare. We look after our bodies in so many ways, and we're conscious of what we eat and going to the gym, and then it's not really talked about, and we just put these things in our bodies month on month that aren't very good for us. So yeah, that's why I love Natracare and literally could never see myself going back to anything else. But the reason we are here today is because it is World Menstrual Health Day on the 28th of May. So this week when you're listening to this podcast. Now the actual word for it is World Menstrual Hygiene Day, but Natracare are campaigning for that to change to a World Menstrual Health Day, and they're also campaigning for the likes of supermarkets and just shops in general. They really just want to change the language surrounding periods and talk about it in terms of menstrual health as opposed to menstrual hygiene or feminine hygiene. It's not a very inclusive language. Not everyone is feminine that has a period, and also it's kind of implying that hygiene word is implying that it's dirty. And so yeah, I think language is a really important part of it in making everyone feel included, and also not bringing shame around it, because it's so weird when you walk into a supermarket and it's you're searching for period products and it's all feminine hygiene this and feminine hygiene that. Can we not just say the words?
Yeah.
Or we
period
just
products.
Yeah.
I know that is.
Why are we so scared of just calling it what it is, a period? And it's all this tiptoeing around using the different language is what makes young girls be embarrassed from it from such a young age.
It's I remember whenever I was younger and I ran out of pads or tampons or whatever it was, and my dad was the only one in the house, and I didn't want to go because obviously I didn't have like anything to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, Dad, can you please go to the shop and get me female stuff? And he was like, say no more. Like, and it's to this day I still don't think I could, like, I would be fine with it, but he would be like, Aoife, shut up, like, don't say the word. Yeah. Which is so weird because I'm literally a 26-year-old woman.
I know. It's so crazy. But they've probably been brought up around women that were so scared to say it. So then when they do hear it, it's like so shocking to them.
I feel like when it's your daughter as well, but it should just be so normal.
Yeah, like
you have a daughter.
It happens to all of us. Yeah. It's so crazy. And like, I even think about like my grandparents, for example, and I can bet you, I mean, I don't know this I've never asked them, I don't know this for fact, but like I can nearly guarantee you that my nana will have never said that word to her partner, like to my papa.
Do you
like,
think?
I can guarantee it.
Like those who have children together, you don't think she's ever been
like... I think she'd be like, oh, it's just that time in the month, darling, or like, you know, I'm going through womanly problems. Like, I bet that woman has never just outwardly been like, I'm on my fucking period.
Yeah. No, I could never be me. I literally, all my friends will know as soon as I'm on my period, everyone knows about it.
Oh, everyone.
I'm on my period. And like one of my friends recently was like, were you not on your period like a week ago? And I was like, no, it's just because I talk about it that much. It just feels like I was.
I always feel like that because it's always when I'm on the podcast, and it'll always be my pit of the week is getting my period. I'm like, it feels like I said that literally last week. But yeah, constantly like tiptoeing around the words is just like, it adds more shame to something that just is such a natural thing. And so Menstrual Health Day is not only to break those stigmas and taboos and get people speaking about it, but also to bring awareness to period poverty and the amount of people that don't have access to safe period products and safe washing facilities and things like that. So it's kind of a day that encourages not only people, brands, campaigns, governments and countries to all like really come together and campaign for these things. So it's a really great day, and that is what today's episode is all about. We're going to be discussing everything period related.
Yay! I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Just us two, like we always talk about it anyway, so it feels very natural to us.
Do you know, whenever you said about this podcast, I was like, because Emma basically told me to like think of a couple of pointers of my periods and how mine are and stuff, and I actually remembered, and I don't know if you'll remember this, but I remember it was our staff day at Makeup Pro Store, and I was going to the toilet. We were at a bar on our Christmas day, and I was going to the toilet, but I was on my period, and I remember you were like coming into the toilet as girls do, and I was like, oh no, I'm on my period, and you were like, so?
Yeah, I was like, I don't care.
Yeah, and I'm not joking, like that was like a moment where I was like, oh yeah, like who cares? And now I like wouldn't even think to be like, oh, by the way, I'm on my period.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I know.
But like at that moment I was like, why do I actually, I don't care. Why did I say that? But I just feel like it would be something.
No, I feel like if we were going in the cubicle together now, I'd be like, I need to shit. Like
Emma is very, what's the word? Like, I actually do admire it about you, not to be disgusting. I've never said this to you. Not that I sit and think about it, but like me lying in bed, I admire Emma Neal for shitting all the time.
I admire her so much for being a poopy queen.
Yeah, but you are, and like you don't like feel embarrassed with things like that.
Yeah,
which is good because it's so natural.
I know, but I think I maybe overstepped the line.
I don't know. I'm all for it. Like, there's so many times we've been on a night out, and Emma's just like been like, "You saw the poo," and I'm just standing in the corner being like, "Nice." She needed that. Oh my God.
It's when we had that conversation recently with my boyfriend, and we were pissing ourselves. We got home from a night out. Bear in mind, right, we got home from this night out at about 1:30, and we stayed up till 5 a.m. We weren't even drinking.
No,
we were drinking water.
We were eating pita bread and hummus, and was just chatting. Like, when I say we didn't take a breath,
no, we didn't. We got in from the front door, kicked our shoes off, and sat on the tiles. Just sat on the tiles, fully clothed in our night out outfits.
And you know what's so funny? I don't even remember. Like, why did we just sit there?
I don't know. We just were like slumped on the ground, one step forward.
But yeah, we were having just deep chats, and Emma was just, because I have a phobia of farts.
Yeah, you
do. I really dislike farts, and it's so pathetic. Like, literally get over it, everyone farts, but I've always been that way. But this girl, like, you can't be friends with you and be scared of farts.
No, one time I made a girl cry because I farted.
What?
I farted like a few times in front of her, and she got really uncomfortable and then started crying and saying she was homesick because she was at my house.
Oh, like in uni?
No, she was at my house. It was in school.
Oh my! Homesick from what?
Homesick from being away from her.
That's like 5 minutes.
And then I had to have serious words with myself and be like, Emma, not everyone's family is like this.
My mum still to this day, like, if she farts, she'll be like, oh God, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, my mum's like that as well, but the rest of our family isn't like that.
They're just let it out.
Yeah.
Oh God, I couldn't live with the nails.
But it was because we were basically, Aoife was being like, no, like I wouldn't poo in front. Sorry, we're really going off topic here. We've now gone from period to poo within seconds.
We'll get back on it.
We'll get back to periods in a second. But basically, Aoife was like, no, I wouldn't do that in front of my boyfriend. And I was like, I guess maybe us going traveling last year like really broke any boundaries that there was where that was concerned, because like at one point we both had like raging diarrhea at the same time, and like I would literally be pushed off the toilet seat and lying on the cold tiles. Meanwhile, he'd be like shitting in the toilet like right next to my head. So I think when that happens, like you're not really gonna think about that again. But then she got me thinking. You were like, but does he do it in front of you? And I was like, not that you say that.
Just that one time when he was ill with diarrhea, but she's like, this has broke the boundary and I can shit wherever and whenever I want.
But yeah, it was just this moment of realization where I was like, actually, I'm the only one that does this in this relationship.
But
in my head it's so acceptable because he'll just be like there brushing his teeth, meanwhile I'm on the toilet, and I like don't think twice about it. But then I'm like, think if that was the other way around, your boyfriend was just like going like having a proper
raging shit while you're brushing it, like flossing.
I'd be
your
like
teeth.
The fucking cheek you, that's so
but unfortunately I think it's just like a man be woman thing. Like it's okay for the girls. That would give me the ick if like my boyfriend did that. But it would give me the ick if I did that as well, just because of the way I am. But I feel like a girl having a wee poo is like, oh, she needed that. Whereas a boy, it's like, you fucking stinking bastard.
There are some times though where he does turn around to me and be like, you're a mean bastard, like,
as he should. Yeah, like, fair enough. You can't be getting away like scot-free all the time.
We'll move on from the poo topic.
Yeah.
I actually thought you'd be a really good guest for this topic because we have very different experiences when it comes to periods and hormones in general. Yeah. Talk to me about your periods.
Okay.
And you know what? Tell me, what age were you when you got your period?
So I actually have the worst memory ever and like don't remember half of my existence. So I don't know, but I do remember a time, I think I was definitely in primary school.
Were you?
Yeah, I was in primary school.
That's so young.
Yeah, I'm assuming P6, P7. So what age is that? Like 9, 10?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember being in the playground and getting like this raging back pain, like, you know, the period back pain where it almost like takes your breath away, and like bending over being like, what the fuck, am I actually gonna die here?
God love you, that is really young.
And then went into the toilet and was like, oh my God.
And did you know prior to that like what it was?
I think I obviously must have knew what a period was, but I didn't know it would come that early. Like none of my friends, there was only one other girl in my class who had hers, and I remember, I don't know if you felt this whenever you were getting your period, but I was like, ooh, I'm a woman. Like I was like happy to get it early.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like, oh my God, like puberty, I'm gonna get boobs.
That's good, you were happy about it, because I think a lot of young girls would probably be so like scared. Like I think I would have shit myself.
No, I think it was a wee bit scared because I was in school. But I was kind of glad that I got it, but literally since my first period, I've had like horrendous periods. Like I've never remembered having a period and just, you know, when people are like, oh, I just got my period. Like that's never been me. Like I will know 2 weeks before like something's going on, it's coming, I'm sore, really bad PMS. And then whenever I was 15, I remember eventually going to the doctors because I was bleeding every day for a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so bleeding every day for a year, went to the doctor and they basically just put me on the pill at 15 and didn't like look at me, didn't investigate. We're just like, oh, take this, it'll go away. And it obviously did. And I was on that until, what age was I when I came off it? 21? And then when I came off the pill...
We came off the pill at very similar times. I remember having this conversation with you.
Whenever I came off it, everything just came back, but obviously 10 times worse because I was not a 15-year-old child anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I then didn't get a period for a year, so it was like the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't bleed, just felt really shit, and then went back to the doctors, went through loads of tests and stuff, and then got diagnosed with polycystic ovaries whenever.
Oh, have you been fully diagnosed?
Yeah, I'm fully diagnosed with polycystic ovaries.
Oh, so it's
endometriosis. I'm like queried to I might have that as well, but yeah, got diagnosed with that, but even that diagnosis took 3-4 years.
And do they give you anything for that?
No, which I think's insane, because I'll see like American influencers or YouTubers or podcasters, and they're like, oh, I'm on this medication for my polycystic ovaries, and it's not the pill, it's like hormone tablets. But over here it's like genuinely just go on the pill. Or one gynecologist actually was like, if you just stay nice and skinny, it shouldn't be that bad. Like, use those, not even joking, those exact words, while he was like rubbing my ovaries, being like, if you just stay nice and skinny, it shouldn't be that bad. And I'm like, babes, I'm literally at a gynecology appointment because it's that bad.
Oh my god,
like, how bad's that?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I've heard really bad stories actually of people with PCOS that are overweight, and they've basically refused to like do anything for them until they lose weight, because they're
that
like,
is so bad.
Yeah,
because that is one of the symptoms. It's like hard.
It's
don't
hard
have
to
that symptom, but it's hard to maintain like a average BMI or an average weight with polycystic ovaries because of the testosterone levels.
Yeah, I remember reading about this. It was actually so interesting. It was something to God, look at us trying to get medical here. I don't want to like.
I don't even know when I have it. So.
Yeah, but it's something to do with the way your body processes carbs when
insulin.
Yeah. And then you end up, does it all get turned to sugar or something, or it all gets?
It's like insulin resistance, so it gives like similar symptoms of diabetes.
Okay.
But that's only one type of polycystic ovaries. Like, there's loads of different types.
Okay.
Which I don't really know enough about. I don't even know what one I have. But yeah, it was crazy that he said that to me, because that is one of the symptoms a lot of people struggle with. Yeah. And to be told, oh, we can't do anything until you lose weight. It's like, babes, I can't lose weight.
Yeah, this is the reason I can't lose weight. Yeah. I'm coming to you with this problem.
Yeah, like insane. But yeah, I got diagnosed with that, and then just back and forth to the doctors with trauma stories, to be honest.
Oh, you had a really traumatic, what was it? You were getting the coil put in?
Yeah, so someone with polycystic ovaries shouldn't have been offered the copper coil. Not even offered, actually told to go on it. Mm-hmm. Basically, I went to the doctors one time about my periods, and they asked the question, as they always do, like, what contraception are you using? And I was like, oh, I'm not on the pill, I'm not using anything. And they were like, no, well, you have to get the coil. Like, you can't just like not be on anything. And that made me shit myself then, because I was like, oh fuck, like, okay, like this doctor's telling me to get the coil and was saying it's hormone free and like it's gonna be good for you, blah blah blah. And I went on it, and it was genuinely, to this day, the worst thing I've ever done.
I remember you.
It was honestly story. I never like it.
But it's so crazy that they would even suggest that, because obviously someone with cysts in their ovaries that's going to be really sore for.
Yeah, because the copper coil essentially works because it inflames your lining of your uterus to stop the sperm surviving. I'm pretty sure
it makes it like a hostile environment.
Yeah,
so like nothing can
survive.
Yeah,
but then because I'm already inflamed and like dealing with bloating and pain and everything, and then that's making that worse. It was genuinely like the pain times 10.
Oh my god.
And at that time they were like, oh, you could have endometriosis as well, so they definitely shouldn't have given me that for that, because I was complaining about such heavy periods, such like painful periods, and then they were like, oh, just take this thing that makes them heavier and sorer. Like, what? But yeah, that was awful. I know like everyone's stories are different with contraception, so I'm not gonna
I find contraception is a really difficult one to talk about, because I would never want to influence anyone to like different things just work for different bodies, and I'm not gonna sit here and influence anyone to do anything, because I just think you need to do what's right for you and your lifestyle. And like, you know, if you're not someone that would remember taking a pill every day, then
don't go on it,
something like the implant or the coil is going to be better. And so like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, this is bad for you and this is bad for you. Like, it is just one of those things, you've got to work it out for yourself. But yeah, I mean, I did have my fair share of trials and tribulations with the pill.
Yeah, did you try different ones?
Yeah, I did. I was always on them for acne, and then I ended up having like a really bad acne flare up. And then I was like, well, I'm literally on the pill and I'm getting this, so why, like, maybe I should like balance my hormones naturally.
Yeah.
So then I came off it, and then it kind of just scared me when I came off it, because I was like, I've never felt like this.
I like was reborn though.
Yeah.
Like genuinely, I was like, what the fuck? 10 years of my life have been spent in someone's body that isn't mine.
Yeah, no, literally, I was like, this is what it's meant to feel like, to like be a woman and like have these like fluctuating hormones that I've just like switched off.
Yeah.
But I don't want to talk too much about that, because I feel like, you know, the pill works for some people, and I have loads of friends that the pill works amazingly for. So
just find out what works for you.
Yeah, definitely. So it's so crazy that you got yours when you were 9 or 10, because I was 17.
Were you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that's quite late.
I got one period once, but it was like not even a proper period, like, you know, a little kind of 3-day thing when I was maybe like 15, 16, and then not properly till I was 17.
Were you like scared or freaking out, or were you
I was
just
loving
like,
it. I was like, this is so good, I don't have to deal with any of this.
So whenever you didn't get your period, what did that actually mean that was happening with your hormones? Like, were you just not getting them to the level that they should have been at to help
I
them?
assume you're just not releasing eggs and stuff. I don't know, you're just not fertile. Like, people just go through puberty at different ages.
But were you going through puberty? Like, were you seeing other changes?
Yeah. Like, well, not that I've ever had massive tits, but...
Although your boobs were a lot bigger.
Yeah, they were. They were definitely a lot fuller. I don't know that they were like a much bigger cup size, but they were...
Like harder. I kind of miss those tits.
Yeah, I kind of miss the pill boobs, to be honest.
I know people, that have went on the pill to get bigger tits.
Really?
Yeah, which honestly so fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, actually fair. Or when people get pregnancy boobs and you're like, wow.
Yeah, like Anne Davies saying like her boob, because she has a boob job, and I remember watching her story and her being like, my pregnancy boobs, like my boyfriend loves it. And I'm like, your tits look insane. I'm gonna be a big fat whale.
Oh Jesus, don't even talk about
no
it. It's so crazy, because I probably could have grown a full bush.
What do you mean?
But like, I wouldn't have had a period.
Yeah, that is
Whereas
weird.
like at 9 you're having a period but probably had no bush.
Yeah, I don't think I had boobs or pubic hair, but pubic hair. But I was bleeding.
I think the bush is back, you know?
Yeah, I kind of rate it.
Yeah. But then I worry, like, I'm seeing a lot about the bush and about people wanting to bring the bush back, but then I worry that it's this very like surface level social media thing of like talking about bringing the bush back, but when it comes down to it, people are just like, oh, but not for me.
Yeah, no, like what literally I was just about to say is I read it, but I don't think I could have one. Not in like a way where appearance or anything. I just, do you know when you're used to shaving and then you don't? I think it's the in between of like bush and shave, where it's like the growth part. Yeah, like a maintained bush, fair, but going from like a dolphin to like a squeaky dolphin to a mammoth.
She's a mammoth,
of course. But I really rate that. Or like landing strips.
Yeah.
Love them.
I'm here for the revival of the bush. But sometimes I find the bush a bit distracting for myself, because I'll be lying in bed at night like twizzling it.
No, you're literally, this podcast has been Emma exposing that she shits all the time and lies in bed beside her boyfriend twiddling her bush. This man must love you. I'm just picturing you in this bed going la 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 with your fucking sleep mask, like chin strap, bonnet, Kindle, mouth tape going
pube in hand.
No, that's hilarious. I know what you mean though.
It's just like something sad. It's like the way you'd sit there and like, you know, go like that with your eyebrows.
Yeah, but it's just under your fanny. Ew, I hate that word. I hate that
what
word.
Do you call it?
I hate pussy. Like, I can't.
You know, my friend literally calls it a pussy, as in like to his mum and his sister. Yeah.
No,
he actually like.
And they don't bat an eyelid.
No, like, it's not said in a sexual way. Like, he just calls vaginas pussies.
No, I can't with pussy. Yeah, I can't. Like, I couldn't use it in a American porno way kind of vibes. Or in a like descriptive way. I don't know what I call it. I don't like minge either, to be honest.
Well, obviously you don't like minge.
I just call mine my vagina. I think vagina is just respectable.
Vagina to me is very biology class.
What do you call yours?
My vagine? My...
Yeah, like jokey wee words, but if you're genuinely like if you had like a hairy vagina and you were like, oh, Aoife, my is so hairy, what would you say? I could see you be like, oh, my fanny's so hairy.
I don't really use fanny, to be honest.
It's kind of a funny word though.
It's funny, but it kind of turns me.
Yeah.
Not turns me, sorry, turns me is the wrong term. Fanny to me is like...
moist.
No!
Like, it's on the same spec, like moist, fanny.
Fanny, it's
Pussy.
just like... I don't know.
Meow. Meow. Little pussy. Right, we're getting way too weird with this. We haven't even literally delved in and we're going, meow, pussy, meow. My mum listened to this being like, Jesus, what have I raised? The traditional Irish mother.
Anyway, let's bring it back to some normal stuff. When I did get my period, I had them really, really bad.
Did you?
Yeah, like I would be taking days off school.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It was really bad.
Just sore or heavy or kind of both?
Both. Like crippling back pain and cramps, and like I would literally sob to my mum and be like, I can't move, like I can't go into school even after taking ibuprofen and stuff. Yeah, I think that's why I went and got on the pill first.
Just because of the
was because of how bad it was. Which in fairness, I know it is used often as like a bit of a band-aid thing, but at that time in my life I needed that band-aid.
No, I'm all for it. Like there's times where I've thought about going back on it just because it like literally is so hard to be in that and go on with daily life.
Yeah.
And if that's what you need to kind of just pause that for a bit, like I'm all for that.
Yeah, I know. Because I stayed on the pill then for so long, it wasn't really then till I came off it where I actually experienced what my periods were like, and my periods are fine now.
Yeah.
Apart from when I'm traveling, like when I'm on holiday, I don't know why, but like it seems to just like cause ruckus in my body.
As in, like throws your period off time-wise or...
Time-wise, and just gives me raging PMS. Like, see when me and my boyfriend went traveling last year, I was the biggest bitch for before my period. I wanted to rip his head off. Anything he said, I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
No, that is literally me. Like every month.
Yeah.
It's so... And you feel so guilty and it's so hard to deal with. Like, PMS is genuinely crippling whenever you get it bad.
Yeah.
But you feel like a crazy bitch.
No, I thought I was going insane.
Like, there's times I've genuinely been like, that's it, I'm just losing it.
No, I'm losing the plot. I need to be like actually admitted to hospital at this point.
Like not even being dramatic though, like genuinely being like, what the fuck, I'm going cuckoo, like lock me up.
And then it's so weird because you like wake up the next day and you're like, whoa, that was crazy.
I get my period and I'm like la 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 la, and so like my boyfriend is like, you're a fucking crazy bitch. Are we just gonna ignore the 2 weeks of being a fucking like psychopath?
No, I literally would turn to him and be like, sorry, I don't know who that was.
Yeah, it honestly is like an alter ego. Something just takes over your body and I'm just a demon. Yeah. Like I hate everyone, I hate everything. I'm fat, I'm anxious,
ugly, I'm a whale,
just everything about it. Like there's not one good thing about like that phase.
I know. God love you if that's what it's like every month.
Oh my God, like it is genuinely so bad. I've heard apparently, again, not medical advice, but antihistamines are supposed to help with PMS.
Really?
Yeah, and I have hay fever, so I've started taking them this month, and I'm kind of in the phase where I usually would start going a bit like delulu and crazy, and I feel kind of good. So
what do antihistamines actually do?
I don't really know. Like,
oh wait, so histamine is the reaction to things that so it stops
histamine reaction. I don't really know.
God, that's quite interesting.
But yeah, apparently that's like a newfound study. So I mean, I'll keep you updated if it actually works or if I'm just not at that point yet.
Yeah.
Me next week being like, I fucking hate everyone. The antihistamines are doing nothing.
Throwing the antihistamines out the window.
Sarah saying, fuck you. Give me the hay fever.
Oh my God, we were talking about what word you use for vagina. What do you use for period? Just period?
Just period, yeah.
Even like around your parents, around family, like...
I don't care. Like I'm very open with, as you know, my periods. I will literally tell like everyone about them. Like all my clients, I work in like the beauty industry and like they all probably know that I have awful periods because I will tell anyone that will listen. Like, I have no shame whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a good way to be. When you were growing up, do you remember it being referred to as something different?
Time of the month, or what was the other one?
Like
women problems.
Yeah.
Female problems.
Like if your dad was to like refer to your mum being on her period, what would he have said?
He would just be like, it's woman things. He still says that. He said that to me like the other week because I was in a really bad mood and he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, my period. And he's like, oh, womanly things. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Like, genuinely, what is wrong with you?
I feel like, what did we call it when we were growing up? Mum used to say she was on her blob? Or
I've heard of that.
On her blob?
Or Tom.
Tom?
Or the painters are in. Which is crazy. Sorry, Dad, the painters are in.
Or yeah, time of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Or yeah, dealing with womanly. It's like, oh, she call it a fucking. She's bleeding out of her fucking vagina.
I know.
I put up on my story asking what other people called it growing up, or what like their dad would refer to it as. Let's see.
This is gonna be hilarious.
Yeah, there's someone saying Tom.
Yeah, because that's time of month.
Oh, time of month.
Yeah.
When you said Tom there, I thought you just meant like
the name.
It was just called I don't know. I've never heard that before, I don't think. Someone said having my yolks.
Right.
My foof. I would say foof is like my vagina.
Yeah.
Tomato soup.
Oh, Jesus. Come
That's
on.
a new one. Taking bad. I'm taking bad. Called it Mississippi in school.
Zippy.
Mississippi.
I can't even work out what that even means.
Like the place. The Mississippi in the Mississippi River, is it?
Oh.
Oh, because it's a river.
Yeah, like the Nile.
Oh
Mississippi, come on.
Aunt Lizzie. Papaya.
Jesus Christ.
Called a tampon a mouse.
A mouse because of the wee tail?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. That's just worse. Like, come on. I'm putting my mouse in. Like,
can you please go to the shop and get me a mouse?
Here, Dad. See those wee mice in the shop? Would you get me one? It's my Tom.
Shark Week.
Shark
Week.
Because you're snappy.
Oh
is
my
that
god,
why?
Aoife!
What?
How are you getting all these? Like, I would have never got that.
I
just would have thought because of blood, like Shark Week.
Oh, maybe it is, actually.
Snappy's a good one, though. Penelope, lady time. I call my period my moon.
Okay.
Doofer-danger. In Cyprus, we say, my aunt's visiting from Russia.
Come on. Anything, like...
Anything do not say the word period. Honestly, anything. Mum called it Molly. Got my thing. Riding the crimson wave.
Oh, Jesus.
Strawberries. God, there's so many
crazy.
there.
I didn't expect that.
I also asked people, do you still feel shame or embarrassment when it comes to talking about your period? 4% said yes. 45% said with certain people. I'm going to assume that's like your brothers and dads kind of thing. And 50% said no, not at all. I'll make sure everyone knows it. That's quite good.
That's good.
They did a survey recently in the UK and 48%, so like nearly half of women in the UK said that they were still, women aged 14 to 21 in the UK were still embarrassed by their periods.
I feel like that would maybe hopefully be like the younger end of the scale.
Yeah.
Like 14-year-olds, I feel like I would have been scunner. Do you know what I mean?
You'd like to think that's changing.
Mm-hmm.
And also 3/4 of girls in the UK admitted that they have felt embarrassed by buying period products.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I will admit, like sometimes I don't like period products. I get it a wee bit, but sometimes like a pregnancy test, that is like peak embarrassment for me still. And I'm like a fully grown woman.
I think that's because you live in a small town.
Yeah, that's true. Like if I was to buy a pregnancy test in my local chemist, like people would probably come into me like the next day being like, "Are you pregnant?" And I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
I think you wouldn't feel like that if
no,
you were
I
buying
wouldn't
in
if I was.
Belfast.
That's so true, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I could see. I don't think I could see why people would get like embarrassed buying tampons.
Maybe when I was younger, in fairness.
If I was younger and if it was a male cashier.
Yeah.
Like a young male cashier. Like, do you know when you go to buy knickers and it's like a wee young lad and he's literally holding your pants?
Yeah, like your thongs passed over done stores and you're like...
Like that, to me, I hate everything like that though. Like I hate people knowing things. Like sometimes when I go to the supermarket and I buy like ingredients for something and I know the cashier knows I'm going home to make that, that's like an ick. Do you know what I mean? Like if I'm buying like mince, onions, tomato puree, it's like, right, this bitch is making a bolognese tonight.
And you find that embarrassing?
I get so embarrassed. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to put other things in the trolley so he doesn't know what I'm making tonight. I'm not joking. Like, still to this day,
what?
I just hate being perceived.
Oh my god!
I know, it's pathetic.
That
it's
is
like,
next level.
I hate it about myself, but like every time I'm like, oh god. Or if I'm buying a big munch with like loads of sweets, I'm like, he knows I'm a fat bastard. Like he's judging me. But with period products, I don't give a fuck. So I don't know. What does that say about me?
There's like a lot to unpack.
Yeah, we'll not go into that. That's for another episode, maybe.
What other scenarios would you have a fear of being perceived? That's not buying something.
Like sometimes if I'm like going on a run, I hate the people like know my agenda. Do you know what I mean? Like the other day when I was running on the main street and it was like a Friday evening and I was like, I hate the people, genuinely this thought was crossing my head while I was doing my wee 5K and I was like, people know I've like avidly set this time aside to like do a run. Like there's nothing mysterious about like me doing this. I don't, not that I need to be mysterious, like that sounds so icky, but like I don't know what it is.
That's so funny.
It's so weird. Or do you know what I hate? And I feel like you're the opposite to this. You love this shit, right? Do you know when you go to the same coffee shop over and over again and they know your order?
Yeah.
I have to leave. I have to never go back. Like if I'm going in, they're like, oat milk latte. I'm like, see you later. You'll never see me again. Like, whereas Emma walks in, she's like, I got my barista a Christmas present this year. And I'm like, fuck me. Like, and that's normal. I'm not normal.
Oh yeah, I know. There's something I really like about someone knowing my order.
I find that so icky. I'm like, oh god, am I that obvious? Am I that predictable? And sometimes I'll like, this is so bad, right? If I've been to the same coffee shop 3 times or whatever, I'll be like, right, today I'm gonna order ice so he doesn't know what I get every time. I think this is just exposing my anxiety, to be fair.
That's so funny.
I know, it's so weird.
I did feel really guilty the other day. I went into my usual coffee shop and he literally, because he just knows I get the same thing every time, he'd already started making it and I was like, I'm gonna switch things up today and get a tea, and he was like, huh?
Oh, that's so cute.
And I had to just throw it out. God love.
Oh my god, he actually
But I was like,
no,
I'll have it, I'll not get the tea, and he was like, no, it's fine.
Oh, that's so sweet. See, I love that for you.
I know, he's really cute.
Could never be me.
Guys, I'm quickly interrupting this podcast episode to share with you some of my favourite Naturcare products. If you are watching this podcast as a video, you'll be able to see what they look like. I'm going to show you some of my faves. But don't worry, for my audio listeners, I will be describing them all in great detail. I am a Naturcare product enthusiast. I have my different little faves for all my different times within my period and around my period. So yeah, let's get into it. By the way, absolutely all of these Naturcare products and more are available to shop on the Naturcare website. I'm going to leave a link to it in the episode description, so make sure to check that out. My listeners also get a cheeky little discount. So if you go on the Naturcare website and use the discount code Emma10, that'll get you 10% off all of the Naturcare products, so you can stock up on all of your period goodies and have a period that is good for your body as well as good for the planet. So again, that's Emma10 for the 10% discount. I will leave both the link and the discount code in the episode description. I'm a tampon girly, and their organic applicator tampons are probably my favourite. I like the regular, and I also like the one up from the regular, like the heavy. Would that be? Yeah, the heavy ones. I like an applicator tampon for when I'm in the thick of it, you know? When you are day 1, day 2 of your period and it's a bloodbath down there, and the applicator just really comes in handy. She's my ride or die. I do like a non-applicator tampon as well. These are so handy to just pop in your bag because they're so tiny and you can just like put them in every pocket of absolutely everything. I feel like I go for a non-applicator tampon as the week goes on, when it's a little bit lighter and, you know, I don't need to worry about walking out of the public toilet with blood all over my hands, essentially. One thing I absolutely love about Naturcare is their selection of panty liners. I didn't realize there was so much choice within panty liners before. I swear before I made the switch to natural care, I just thought there was just one type of panty liner and that was it. Little did I know that there is a different shape of panty liner for every single person out there and every like day of the month, honestly. One of my favorites is their curved panty liners. These are really great because they have a natural curve that just makes them so comfortable to wear in your knickers. If you're a thong girly as well, I've actually ran out of them, so I don't have them to show you right now, but they also do a panty liner in a shape called tanga, and it's essentially a panty liner that starts normal and then goes in really thin in the shape of like what your thong would be, so you don't need to worry about, you know, it flapping out the side of your thong essentially. The curved panty liners are my go-to for when I'm actually on my period because I always like to wear them as well as a tampon, you know, just in case. And that would be with like my normal pants, whereas like my tanga ones I go to when I'm wearing a thong, when I'm going out. And then sometimes I'll even switch to an ultra thin panty liner because this literally feels like you're wearing nothing. Like it is as thin as paper. Honestly, you do not, like, you forget that you're even wearing it. It's like it's not there. They also have a huge selection of pads if you're more of a pad kind of gal. And last but not least, we've got Natural Care's selection of wipes. This is another one of those ones I'm like, I didn't even know there were so many wipes that could exist, but Natural Care just seems to have ticked every single box in the wipe department. These little pack of intimate wipes are the best things to have graced my life. Like, they come in every bag, they come in every scenario. They were a lifesaver when I was traveling. They're so good for holiday. They're so good to just have on you no matter where you are, and because you just never know what situation you're going to be in. This is their pack of intimate wipes, and it's really not a big pack at all, so you know you can just kind of bring it in every wash bag or every handbag. I also am obsessed with their moist toilet tissues, which are flushable, have been tested in the UK to be completely flushable, completely biodegradable, and they've also got baby wipes and makeup wipes. But I have to say the intimate wipes and the flushable wipes are the ones I go through the most of. I've gone through an insane amount of packs of both of those. And the flushable moist toilet tissue ones, they are so comforting on you. They're so comforting on your little bum. I promise. You've never felt softness like it in your life. Once you make the switch, once you start using them, you'll never want to use anything else. I promise you. It's so nice and cooling. Okay, I'll not say anymore because God knows where we'll end up on this tangent. But yeah, that's my Natural Care faves. Let's get back to the episode. Do you have any like either traumatizing or hilarious period stories?
I have one which is pretty, it's hilarious but also in a traumatizing way. Like at the time it definitely wasn't funny. So basically I was like in the early stages of dating my boyfriend, and it was like, I want to say 5th date, so I was comfortable in a sense where we got on and stuff, but he wasn't my boyfriend. I wasn't like, I can tell this man everything and whatever. So anyway, we came home from a date, we were drunk, and I remember we were in my bedroom and I was like really trying to hold in the fact that I had like raging pains, and was like talking away to him, and then was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to tell him here. Was like bent over my bed in like literally agonizing pain because I think like a cyst had burst. And I remember he was like, both of us steaming, by the way, him being like, well, I call 999, and me being like, no, it's fine. Like, and I remember testing the waters being like, I'm gonna be like, you can go home if you want, like, it's fine, I'll deal with it myself. Knowing fine rightly, if that man went home, I'd never see him ever again. But he was like, no, it's okay, I'll stay with you. And I was like, oh, okay. And he had to like hoist me up and like lift me into the bath, like undress me, lift me into the bath, run the tap. Meanwhile, he's like, that's it, I'm ringing Annie. And he gets this woman on the phone, and I can just hear him, bless him, in the background being like, I know what's wrong, you're gonna have to speak to her and put me on. And I was like, I told him not to ring, but I think a cyst burst. And she was like, okay, like, you just need to come down here. And I was like, no. So I just didn't go, and started bleeding and everything. So I mean,
oh my god, what do they do in that situation?
They can't do anything anyway. I knew I would go to A&E and we'd both be fucking steaming in A&E, just like sitting there for 5 hours. Like, it just they wouldn't have helped. But it was kind of embarrassing because, like, obviously it was after a date, so it was like an intimate moment, and I was just like, oh god, hold on, you're gonna have to hoist me into the bath and ring the fucking doctor. And like, go home if you want, but also don't, or else I'll literally never see you again.
Dare.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hilarious now. We still talk about it to this day because he was like, he likes to like big himself up, being like, "Oh, I'm so good in that situation." I'm like, it's literally bare minimum. Like, it's literally bare minimum.
Well done, you dialed 999.
No,
Congratulations.
I don't think he dialed 999. To be fair, if he did, I'd be like, "No,
Probably
I've got
one,
the ick."
or whatever, 111 or.
Imagine Saul on 999 being like, "Yeah, she got her period, just her period came, but she's crying." Like,
will you speak to my missus here?
that's literally right.
Here, my missus came over. I don't know what's going on.
There's blood and all. What's that called? The Tom. It's him. I'm a man. I don't know. The Mississippi's flowing.
There we go. Managed to use a few new terms.
Honestly. What about you?
I told this story the last time if it was on the podcast.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I haven't spoken about it since. I do feel weird. It is funny, like, when you have a boyfriend and telling stories that involve previous people.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I feel it's a bit much, but also my boyfriend knows I have a podcast and talk about these things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it wasn't with him, but basically I was knowingly having period sex and had, like, you know, put a towel down and everything. I don't know what happened, but at some point a heap of blood managed to sprout up on the walls.
Yeah.
On the white walls.
On the what?
I had to...
I remember she sent me a video as well. Which is hilarious, like you in that moment getting the phone out being like...
No, it wouldn't have been in that moment. It was probably after.
No, obviously you weren't still like, naked. Fucking hold on to the video of this here.
Also, me and that person, like, were on bad terms. And I had to come... Just,
like,
I had to come back the next day and, like, scrub the walls.
He should have done it.
Well, no, he did, but I felt a little bit obliged to help out.
Yeah, fair enough. Why did you not clean it up like after it happened?
No, I tried. But it was like when I'm saying all over the wall, I mean like I'm not I know I'm one to over exaggerate and like, you know, be quite dramatic about something, but like I'm actually being serious. It was all over, like it was splattered all over.
Oh my god!
Like when I had like a little. Like a kitchen cloth, and I was just like each individual like scrubbing with
it's kind of like art. Yeah, I could imagine that being quite like, oh, I'm proud of myself, look at me. Do you know what I mean?
Like, that would so be in a exhibition and people would be like, wow,
100%. Like change the narrative and be like, wow, I'm so naturally beautiful.
It just makes me laugh that that probably still is on that wall,
like kind of ingrained there.
Yeah, like good luck to whoever
that was. Get the painters out. For the painters of Cain. I'm quick with it, honestly.
The painters have really come this time.
The painters have really came.
But apart from that, I don't know. I was trying to think, have I had any times of like, you know, being out in public and like bled through something white, or I don't really know if I have.
I don't think I have. Like, I've had it in times where I'm like, oh, I could really do without this right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's came during a Pilates class or something.
Yeah. Or I've definitely been places where I don't have anything, but I've just, like, managed to, like, either get something off someone or, like, roll loads of toilet paper
Yeah,
off.
the toilet roll scrunch. That's awful, though. I hate doing that.
Yeah, sometimes I kind of like it. It's like, I don't know, I feel very, cave womanly.
With your toilet roll? Like, naturally making a little bed for your blood.
You see, do you remember that meme that was like, you're in his DMs, I'm free bleeding in his boxers?
Yes. Free bleeding in the autumn rain. Free bleeding in the autumn rain. Fall in love again and again. It's Charlie XCX. Yes.
Free bleeding in the autumn rain.
Or autumn something, but yeah, free bleeding in the autumn.
Fall in love again and again.
Honestly, everything is romantic.
That is romantic.
Yeah. That's the lyrics again.
Yeah, I know that's the lyrics, but
makes
like,
so much sense.
Free bleeding is
in
romantic.
The autumn rain. Imagine that. In boxers that aren't yours. Unbelievable. I love being a woman.
How have I never heard that part of it?
Do you know what actually I was going to say though? Do you know what I love? Whenever you're at a cafe or a salon or I don't know, workout class, and you go to the toilet and they have period products there.
I know, I do love that.
Love, and it's so sweet as well.
It's caught me a lot of times as well. It's like really been there for me.
Yeah, it should be though, like the giving.
I know, it really should. I actually told my dad that when I think I had to go to his toilet at his office once, and there wasn't anything, and I was on my period, and then I was like, Dad, you should really get period products in the toilet. That's really bad for all the females in your company. Like
100%.
Yeah, but like members just probably don't think about that. Like it takes someone going to them to say that,
or someone to work there and be a woman.
Yeah, but like there is women there, but they probably wouldn't go to. They probably feel a bit scared to be like, oh, I think you should do this. Whereas as his daughter, I'm like,
Step up. Yeah, you definitely are. Graham does not get a break.
Oh my god, I got people to send in their, well, either horrific or hilarious stories. I'm really excited to read some of these. I work in a cafe and I had to be dropped in one morning due to the fact I was drinking heavily the night before. It was only me and the male chef in the store that day. We had a morning rush, and as I was the only person on the front, I was making coffees, bringing them to tables for about 3 hours before I could have a pee break. You can imagine the horror when I looked down and see that my light green leggings were soaked with blood. Oh my God. Bear in mind, I haven't had a period in 3 years due to my birth control. Can't believe nobody pulled me aside and told me. I had to message a friend who lives close by to drop me in a pair of black leggings and period products. I hid in the bathroom sobbing until she arrived. Aww. Safe to say, up there with not only the worst period story but also the worst hangover in history.
Oh my god, she was hungover and that happened?
Yeah.
What did she say? She was a chef or a waitress?
No, she was a waitress. She was running around like that.
Oh my god.
I know.
I couldn't go back to work.
Oh my god.
Not like you shouldn't be embarrassed, but you would be so embarrassed.
But there's a good story of why it's so important for workplaces and cafes to have period products. 100%. And that would have saved her. Although, sorry, it actually wouldn't have saved her because she didn't get a chance to go to the toilet until 3 hours later. She just said no. No one said to her. Would you say to someone in that situation?
Yeah. 100%, but in a nice way.
I wouldn't be like, here, here, love.
Change your leggings. No, I would have to be like, I'm really sorry. But actually, how would I word that?
I would pull them aside and be like, darling, like, you need to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
Like, just really subtly.
Yeah.
And if I had something, I would give it to her. Like, if I had a tampon I try and keep a tampon in every bag.
I have them everywhere.
Yeah.
like
throw.
Yeah. Do you, when you get
like, you need a tampon.
Yeah, to everyone. But like, whenever you're getting your like wallet out of your bag or something, and the wee like tampon flies out, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's in every pocket, every bag.
Every pocket, every pouch. Yeah. Everywhere. Because I think I've learned my lesson with it not being everywhere. So now I'd love to be that person that has a tampon for everyone.
You're that person for everything.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah, for everything.
Like, you're like the mum with the bag that has the deodorant and the paracetamol and the hair. You're not a hairbrush girl, actually.
No, I'm not a hairbrush girl having curly hair.
You do have a lot of like stuff in your wee bag.
Yeah.
Can count on you for a tampon, that's for sure.
Yeah, the small bag trend could never take off with me because where's all my stuff going?
No.
I'm a girl that needs her stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Oh my god. Went on a school trip to Italy and the teachers wouldn't let us go to the bathroom during a tour, and I got my period and had to walk around the Colosseum with period blood stains on my pants. Another time I got my period at karate, and obviously we wear all white, so it was painfully obvious to the crowd watching as I bent over to bow. Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? On teachers like not letting people go to the toilet?
I was just gonna say, I think that's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I really do think that needs to be done with. Like, I think from a point of view of like a bad student that's going to the toilet to take the piss or
I know, like class. The stereotype is like, you know, boys just messing around, like wanting to go to the toilet every 2 minutes.
Yeah. But there's been times, like, I remember, like, putting my hand up and being like, I really need to go to the toilet. And the teacher being like, you should have went at lunch. And it's like, what? Like,
I didn't know I'd be bleeding through my school skirt at lunch.
I think that's so bad. They need to do something about that. If that's, I don't know if it's still a thing now, but I'm assuming it probably is.
I'm trying to think in secondary school, but I can't imagine any of the teachers not allowing me then.
No, secondary school they wouldn't allow us. You'd have to get like a pass sometimes. Or wait, am I making that up? I've seen that in a movie and I've just lied and said that was my school, probably.
Like a period pass?
No, just like a toilet pass, but that wasn't, sorry.
That sounds very American.
Just completely ignore that. I've literally seen that on TV and said that happened to me. But no, I definitely remember teachers being like, no, you should have went at lunch. in secondary school when I was like 16.
That's really bad. Because that's like, it's adult to adult then. It's like, I shouldn't even have to fucking ask you. Like, I need the toilet.
I know. I should have just walked out, probably.
Yeah. I think when you're in a situation like that where you're sat at a desk and you have a water bottle, I would drink so much water and my bladder must be this size because I actually swear I need the toilet every 10 minutes.
Same.
So, like, I'm sorry if I need to go, but, like, it's happening.
I need to go. Let me go.
Do you want me to piss myself in this chair?
Because I will.
Yeah, because I will.
Watch me and I will.
Imagine someone did that. That would be iconic. That would really teach a teacher a lesson.
Yeah, take a stance. Piss all over the seat.
I never know when I've bled for the first time on my period. I can never feel it, so I'm always surprised when it comes, even when I know it's due. I went for a massage in Bali, and as I was getting undressed, a giant blood clot dropped on the floor, and I didn't feel it, but God, I saw it. Luckily, the lady wasn't in the room, but there was nothing to clean it up with apart from my own underwear.
Aww.
I put on their see-through net ones for the whole massage. I was terrified it would go onto the table if she pressed too hard. Sorry.
No, the clot. That is insane.
No, carrying on with the massage is the funniest part. Or like,
no,
still going ahead with it. Like, I'd be... No, the whole time massage I wouldn't be able to relax.
Imagine her like going towards your stomach and then just like clot pops out onto the bed. In Bali as well, where the wee woman is probably like not really able to communicate that well with you, and you're just bleeding on her massage bed.
Oh God, just all over the table. Did you ever, like, it's really difficult sometimes to get period products when you're in countries in Asia?
Yeah, did you notice whenever you were in Asia, you probably did in temples and stuff, you can't enter if you're on your period? It will say, like, a sign.
Yeah.
Be like, menstruating women, like, whatever, like, can't enter or do not come here.
Yeah. I don't really know why that is, what that's about, or how they track it. It's obviously just
something to do with their religion. I don't actually know.
They're hardly going to be like... I don't
get
know.
Out.
Well, like, how are they going to know if you're on your period? I don't know. I don't know what that's about.
I feel like maybe...
It's just a cultural thing.
It's just a cultural thing, I guess. But I don't remember needing... I think I really stocked up on period products whenever I've went to
I've always
like
brought
that.
Just loads of... Like, I took all Notchcare things the last time.
Have you ever bought them out there? Like, what are they like?
Yeah, they're just so expensive because the women there must use, do you know, like, kind of... Like where you use like like with fabric. So I think because that is the norm, then like tampons would just be really expensive.
Yeah.
Like I remember paying something crazy, like the equivalent of 30 quid for one box of tampons or something.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know.
That's insane.
Yeah. And even then it was like so hard to find them. So when I did find them for 30 quid, I was like, well, I just have to get them because I don't know when I'm going to find them.
Yeah.
One time in school when I was in first year, a girl was picking up her bag in front of me after class and a bloody pad fell from her skirt. I'm not even joking. I can still see it in my mind. I kind of just stared at it in disbelief before she quickly saw it, picked it up and put the bloody pad up her sleeve. I didn't know whether to cringe with disgust or cry because I felt so bad for her. Oh, God, love.
Wait, did it fall out? Like, how did it fall
I don't know.
Did she just have it in her bag?
No, like it fell out of her skirt. Like I don't know.
That's really strange. She obviously didn't have wings on.
It was Halloween. I was having a late night booty call with a guy I had fancied for ages. He set the mood. We were kissing and then we took things to the bedroom when I realised I was on the tail end of my period. Panicking, I rushed to the bathroom to remove my tampon only to realise it was an all boys house and they'd no bin.
Oh.
Foolishly, didn't have the initiative to flush it down the loo, so I chucked it out the window. The next morning, the boy kindly took me to his front door to kiss me goodbye, and in the process, I noticed my tampon on the road.
Oh my God.
After we said our goodbyes, I was so ashamed and embarrassed that I ran over to fetch it from the road to throw it into a bin. It was only then I heard the door slam shut. He had probably seen the whole thing. Oh my God. Imagine him thinking I'd gone to someone's gross used tampon, picking it up.
Him being like, oh, okay.
Some weird witchy shit going on over.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
I was in a toilet with my friend once and she threw a tampon out the window. It was
Why?
I can still see it in my head. She took the tampon out of herself, swinging it around the place, and then chucked it out the window. And I was like, "You're a mental bitch!"
What, just like being funny?
Yeah,
like just taking the piss.
Honestly, I don't know. She was just drunk and like thought that was hilarious.
I would probably piss myself laughing at that. To be fair, that is hilarious. But at least you didn't flush it down the toilet and block their systems.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, we shouldn't flush them down the toilet.
Yeah, loads of people, like, I for so long thought that you could flush tampons down the toilet.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never done that. Like, I've always knew, but
no, up until well, maybe like through most of school I would have been doing that and not realised. Yeah. And also there was girls in my uni house, and bear in mind I went to uni a bit later, so like this was like not even that long ago, and they were still flushing everything down the toilet, and I was like, guys, you can't be doing this. And then one of the girls that was in the basement rooms kept doing it, and obviously the way the water system is, if you're in the basement room, anything going down is going to be harder because it's like not at a height.
Yeah.
And she ended up having to get someone to come and unclog
the toilet.
Yeah, and it was because she was putting tampons down the toilet.
Imagine that was your job. I'm so sorry. Unblocking people's shit.
We quickly brushed over the topic of period sex when I mentioned
the wall incident.
What's your stance on it?
I'm all for it. I just think do whatever is comfortable for you. Like, I know people that couldn't think of anything worse when they're on their period. I know of people that probably think it's gross. I know of people that do it. I'm all for it. Like, if you want to have sex, just have sex. Like, does it really matter?
I know.
And I also think if the man's gonna be weird about it, then red flag.
Yeah.
Massive red flag.
It's just another bodily, what do you call it? What am I trying to say? Bodily what?
Fluid.
Yeah, it's just not like just adds a bit of lubricant.
Yeah, like I don't know. I actually find it really attractive if a man's like doesn't think it's weird. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if someone was to turn around to me like, ew, no, that's disgusting.
Yeah, I'm not going near you on that.
Like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. I don't think I've ever been with someone that's been really weird about it.
I'm not sure if I have either, to be fair.
Like, generally, I feel like generally males are just like up for it all the time. So like,
yeah, it might be me thinking they're just really nice people, but it's probably just because
they just like don't want that to get in the way.
Yeah, they just want their hole. So like, put the towel down. No, that's bad. That is bad. I definitely know there is people there, like men, that will be like, ew.
Oh no, there 100% is. Yeah. But I know a lot of people that, yeah, as you said, like couldn't think of anything worse in terms like they're not feeling good, so that's not what they'd be thinking.
It actually helps
about,
with like cramps and stuff though. Like it helps symptoms.
Orgasms helps with cramps.
Yeah.
They say the best thing for when you're pregnant is to orgasm loads.
What, to have the baby?
I've just for like pregnancy pain and like and for morning sickness and everything. Really? Like the best, well, not directly for morning sickness, but just in general with like the negative symptoms that you get with pregnancy, they say like the best thing is to orgasm all the time.
It's probably true, but in that moment I feel like if you do really struggle with your periods, or if you're like pregnant and struggling with morning sickness, the last thing you want is a man on top of you.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But as I said, all for it.
Yeah, get the black towel down.
Get the towel down. It's like, take away the stigma.
I know.
Take away the shame. And like, I wouldn't be weird about being on my period in general, like in terms of kind of being like, oh no, don't look at me, I'm on my period, as in like if you could see a tampon string or if you could see like a pad or...
No, not at all. I would be like, you know, at that point where you're like, tail end of your period, and then you're like, oh, I can just take this tampon out and have sex, it'll be fine. Like, I will just like take it out in front of it. I would never think twice about that.
Sorry, I'm laughing because it's
like, I would just be like, all right, I'm going to take my tampon out here. Like,
no, I don't think I would pull it out in front of him.
No, I don't mean on the fucking bed.
I thought you
set it on the bed.
Hold on a minute. But I know what you mean now. Like, yeah, I would just be like, oh, hold on, I have to go take this out.
Yeah, like he would see the string and stuff in it. Yeah,
that's so fair. Like,
or I would put it in front of him.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, if you're gonna shit, you might as well put
a top on it. don't think anything's off limits with you, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised if you pulled it out and fucking put it in your cabinet or something.
Turn it into a charm necklace.
Oh my god, I would love to like get witchy with it though, not gonna lie.
Get witchy with each other's blood.
Maybe not to that extent. Actually, yeah, I could do a blood ritual.
Are we talking like Megan Fox and...
No, not like eat it or drink it. But like, I could so see like a manifestation circle with like each other's period bloods, like group of girls.
Yeah.
It would be funny. Like, I don't think I could actually take it seriously, but I could see.
Like, what are you doing with it?
Just like, just like, apparently that's a thing though, like a meditative state on like with period blood, because it's like, what's that thing, like whenever you're on your period you're more,
yeah, you're like closer to the divine.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. It's supposed to be a very, like, it's a natural womanly divine time.
But like, what are you doing with the blood? I
guess it's just like, I'm you know, like the wee circles with the candles, I feel like it's just with them.
Okay.
Like, we're not actually like blessing the blood and like talking to it, but we're just doing a little ritual to be like,
a little ceremony.
Yeah, ceremony. Once a month. Oh no, sorry, you get your period once a month. I don't. That's why I just said that. But
what if it doesn't line up with when other people's periods are? Do you have to like store the blood?
Yeah, maybe collect it, like freeze it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see myself doing it anytime soon. But like, if you like, I'm all for it. If you want to do that, I actually seen someone on TikTok do that. Like, genuinely was showing her period blood. No, she was doing a ritual. That's where I've got it from.
Oh, right, okay.
And she was, like, actually showing, like, her period blood on TikTok. And I was just like, oh, love that. All the comments were like, what the fuck? And me being like, oh my god, idea. Girls' night.
You're like, so next time we're doing a cacao ceremony and we're going to get our period blood and sync up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm like up for anything once.
Yeah. Whatever floats your boat.
Okay, yeah, I reckon we've got our next girls' night sorted then.
Yeah. The period ritual. Taking this whole release the stigma to a whole new level. Yeah. Let's actually just roll with it.
Let's actually just take this to a completely new place that you never thought it was going to. Honestly, it's no longer just talking about it.
It's freezing and storing your period blood to do rituals with it. Honestly, that should be the new trend.
Yeah, it's no longer bring back the bush, it's bring back collecting.
Not even bring back, just like, let's start.
Yeah,
you should do a TikTok on that and maybe like
I don't
know.
Club,
next book club.
Book club X period ritual.
Yeah, I bet you that would sell out.
I don't know if I'm witchy enough to be leading something like that. That needs to be led by someone that knows what they're doing. Yeah. But I'll come. I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there for the vibes.
Hey, please, everyone is literally gonna be like, what the fuck? Like, there's probably people listening to this that like can't say the word period, and I'm here being like, yeah, so I would so do a ritual with my period blood.
I do think like if you've been one of those people that have never talked about it before, do you think that would be really difficult to just start?
I think it depends on a lot of things. Like, I think sometimes I'm really close-minded and think everyone thinks like I do.
Yeah.
But there's so many people and women that don't, and that would probably still in their like 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever, still think it's uncomfortable to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know?
I know.
And I think like if you've always been like that, I hope it can change, but I think it would be difficult to change.
I do think it's doable though. I think like with anything, it's actually just like the first time is the hardest.
Yeah.
But then after that, it just like happens a lot more naturally. But like I even think back to like myself when I struggle to, I don't know, talk about mental health or talk about like even with boyfriends, like problems, do you know? Whereas now I don't feel that. So it is just like a practice thing.
Yeah, and I think maybe with age as well, like once you talk about it, say you're in your early teens and you've just got your period and you find it a bit embarrassing, but then you get to your like later teens and you talk about it more and it becomes more normal, do you know?
Yeah. Anyone out there that's still embarrassed by it, just honestly, just be the person in the friend group that starts talking about it. Like, just bring it up. All it takes is like one conversation, one toilet encounter, like me and Aoife.
Yeah. And we weren't even friends at that point.
Yeah, we literally weren't friends. She hated me.
That was the pinnacle moment where I was like, oh, this girl's nice. No, I'm joking. I did kind of hate her though, but we'll not get into that. But no, that's so true. Like, it does just take one person, because maybe the other person can be a bit embarrassed about what way people are going to react if they just start talking about that.
And then that can just normalize it amongst a whole group.
Yeah, I think
and then
it's so
multiple
normal.
families as a result of that.
Or like go home to your mum and dad and be like, I want to talk about periods.
Yeah.
Just,
why don't we say the word period in this house?
Yeah, like honestly, just like raise the question.
Yeah. I'm going to go to my dad. I demand you now say period.
Does your dad like call it anything different?
Yeah, he would say like time of the month or something.
Still?
Yeah.
And like, would he be a bit, could you see him getting a bit squirmy if you go to talk about it?
To be honest, like, having women in my family, there's not really a huge amount of times I've had to talk to my dad about it. So I think it's because you're an only child, you probably just do naturally have to be in situations where you would just be saying it more in front of him. Yeah. But I wouldn't be opposed to just saying I'm on my period to my dad, no. But I don't know if he would get weird about hearing that. I think he'd just be a bit like, oh, all right, okay.
Okay, yeah. Typical dad response. I really hope that like this generation of like our generation, whenever they become dads, that we can change that. And I really hope that we will be. Mm-hmm. I think thanks to this generation being more open about it, I think that definitely is possible. Yeah, I do.
Like, it would be really nice for women to be able to go, like for young girls to be able to not feel shame in talking to their dads about that.
Or even just their mums, like anyone.
Yeah.
Or like their teacher, just anything. It's the same way with mental health and stuff. It's becoming a lot more
just normal to talk about.
I feel like periods should be the same. Like,
yeah, 100%.
Especially if you're struggling, but even if you're not, just like it's a normal thing and we should all...
Yeah, and you have to remember so many people like don't have mums or don't have good relationships with their mums, and so their first point of contact for something like that when they're younger, like it might be their dad or it might be their brother. Yeah. And like then imagine like you did have someone that was like couldn't speak about it then.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
That would be hard.
Like there's so much importance on just being able to just like even just say it as it is. Yeah. But yeah, big up Natracare for sponsoring this podcast. Happy World Menstrual Health Day for the 28th of May. I hope you all
celebrate. Hope you all get your... Actually, let's all set a date. Rituals on the 28th.
Yeah, let's all do some period rituals on the 28th.
Imagine you got your period on the 28th.
That'd be quite iconic.
That would be really iconic.
What will we do? How are we going to celebrate Happy World Menstrual Health Day to those that celebrate?
It should be
Let's get a period cake.
Yeah. Honestly, like made with... No, I'm not going to go that far. That's gross. You're going to be in Portugal, actually.
I will, but yeah.
You're going to have to have some deep chats with your boyfriend about period awareness on that day.
Thank you so much for joining me on today's podcast, Aoife.
Thank you for having me.
I need to have you on more often.
I love talking about anything. Let's just talk about everything and anything.
I know.
But no, I really enjoyed it. I like talking about stuff like this.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys, thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Love you lots, and I will speak to you on next week's episode. Bye.